Okay, right, Dale, your librarian here. Wouldn't it be awkward if all of a sudden I said "Giat skibidi rizz" and acted like I knew what I was talking about? And I kind of do because I have a 16-year-old daughter. But looking at me and being of your generation, typically, I'm without even having met your class, I'm kind of guessing that you know what these words mean. You would say, okay, old man, old librarian, where did you get that information? There's sometimes when it's really obvious why you would cite something, right? So if it's like completely anachronistic or divided from like reality of that person talking. When we go to the scholarly level, when we're talking about these things, the same thing happens. So if you are a researcher in something, but you're introducing something of somebody else's research, it's critically important that you cite their research. So for example, I could, with confidence, tell you what quantum entanglement in the context of sociomateriality is. It would be painful, but I could tell you what it is. But I would always want to cite the people who came up with it in the first place, because I'm just kind of, I'm somebody who's like, I bought the light bulb, but somebody else created it. So I'm plugging in the sociomateriality into something that I'm working on, but I didn't create it. And that's really important with plagiarism and the scholarly conversation and things like that. So in a nutshell, if it's something that is not common knowledge, or if it's something where you're quoting somebody, or even if you're paraphrasing somebody's ideas, it's always best to have that in there. Believe it or not, when your professor and I and all the other professors on campus, when they see citations, that's part of the conversation. So they don't necessarily, it's not happening just because we want to bust people on getting the citation style right, which is what I thought until like 5 years ago. But the idea is that when you're reading the citations, there's a lot of information in there, and the things that you write are interesting, and we want to follow up and like, oh, I want to look at that link, or I want to look at that link. So when you look at a scholarly paper, which I'll show you in the next video, that reference list is actually really critical, because people are like, oh, look at this, oh, look at this, oh, look at this. Okay, how do you cite stuff? In the library catalog, there is a citation generator. Oh, there it is. And you can switch between MLA, APA. In the EBSCO databases, there is a citation generator. So you don't have to know citation styles. In the ProQuest databases, there's a citation generator. And sometimes these are wrong, but look at all the styles you have in this one. Sometimes these are wrong, though. So what you can do is you can go back. Let's go back to this one. And you can say, well, in the DOI, if you go to an AI, you can say, what's the APA citation for this? And the document object identifier is indexed everywhere, including Google Scholar. What? I'm not able to access it? Okay. I can't give it the whole thing. Can you cite this in APA? Let's see if this helps to give it a title. Oh, Google Gemini. Well, okay, tell you what, if you go to the DOI, I thought it did work. Sometimes it does. If you go to zbib.org, if you put in that DOI URL, it'll spit out a citation for you. Wah, wah, Google Gemini. I'm Dale, your librarian.